everybody, it's Usernamekate and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back on Suzuki's 2024 V Strom 800DE. It's been a while since I've been on this bike and Lord knows I have missed it. And if you keep watching, I'm going to tell you the reasons why. It's so good to be back on the Suzuki V Strom 800DE. I absolutely love this bike and there's lots of reasons, but there's one key reason, and that is the engine. I think this 776cc parallel twin is an absolute peach. It's probably one of my favourite modern engines for usability and tractable torque, and just when you whack the throttle on it just drives through. Oh man, I really like it. Yeah, it's got 81 brake horsepower and 79 newton meters of torque, so it's nowhere near as crazy as the, I'd probably say, iconic 150 brake horsepower Gixxer Thou engine. But for the road, for the state of the road, for how I like to ride, I bond with this engine. I bond with it so much. It's just so punchy, and it's no secret that I absolutely love the GSX 8R engine. Like, I absolutely, sorry, not engine, just bike in general. I absolutely love the 8R to the point where it is a consideration for my next bike once my GS goes. Because when I rode that bike, for how I like to ride, it's sporty, it's light, it's low, it's got this gorgeous engine, it's got this gorgeous TFT dash, it's got mirrors that fold in really easy and then just turn you into the slipperiest weasel going when you want to filter on the motorway, which is quite a common thing for me when I'm running backwards and forwards on the M6. There's always some kind of crash, some kind of hold up, and it just makes life easy. And also it's really comfy as well. I reckon I could tour on that no problem. The rider's triangle isn't aggressive, the bars are quite upright, and I know a lot of people see that as a massive negative, but as somebody that just wants comfort yet a kind of engaging riding position, I really rate it. Oh gosh, I can't breathe. So the wind is quite intense. Okay, we're in a 30 now, so you got to behave yourself, Kate. But yeah, sorry, this is supposed to be about the V Strom 800DE and I've just started gushing about the GSX 8R. My apologies. But they do share the same engine, and that engine is a corker for me. And you know what? It actually makes me consider a V Strom 800DE as my next bike as well, if I'm being honest, because I love riding this on the road. I get like immense happiness from it, and also, you know, you could go off-road on it, which if it's going to be in the garage, Mike's going to be using the bike, it's pretty much going to be our bike, and yeah, it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense to get some kind of adventure bike that both me and Mike can enjoy. But there's just so much stuff that I love about this bike. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it doesn't matter. Like, when I say that, from a comparison perspective, for those of you who have ridden the Transalp and this bike, hopefully you'll agree with me in thinking that the Transalp 750 is like a better hooligan bike. It's more of a hoon bike. Like, when you are on the country roads, it sticks like glue to the road, even though it's got that 21-inch front. Just the way the suspension is, I feel like it just handles aggressive riding a lot better than the 800DE. With this, you've got, you know, 200 mil of travel, it's got long legs, and it can feel a little bit wallowy when you're pressing on. Now it does have adjustable suspension on the front. We've got little twiddly things, technical term, on the top of the forks, so you could fanny around with them a little bit and, you know, I would imagine make them feel a bit sort of stiffer. One of the reasons why I think this might feel a bit more wallowy when it comes to the hoonage compared to the Transalp is because it's got real long legs and it's got 200 mil of travel and the brakes are really good. If you're really stonking along and you need to use the brakes, it does feel quite divey, in the sense that it makes the bike kind of feel a little bit unstable. Whereas you don't really feel that with the Transalp, or at least I don't, when, you know, you're giving it a good spank along on the country lanes. Don't mind if I do. Whoa, that sun is bright. But one thing that I will say is the seat on this is so ridiculously comfy. We've got a massive tank, 20-litre tank, and I feel like it does just make a really incredible, like, long haul touring bike. I really do. The suspension is soft enough so that when you're on the motorway, it's just absorbing all the bumps so effortlessly. It feels like a magic carpet. Got a quick shifter and auto blipper on this as standard, so we're just smashing down the box. We are clear after the Citroën.
Exit the roundabout onto A6.
Let's go, baby.
Continue on A6 for half a mile.
And it is just a really easy bike to throw around. So some of the other reasons that I really like this bike, I love the dash. I love it. In fact, I should probably put it in night mode because I do prefer looking at the inverted screen. Although at the moment it's set to just change, you know, whether it's night or day, it will just adapt. I absolutely love how intuitive the switch gear is. It's mega easy. You've got modes, you've got A, you've got B, you've got C, so you've got A for advanced, B for basic, C for comfort. And with A, you get obviously 80 brake horsepower and the crispiest of throttle. With B, you get the same power, but a little bit of a softer, more regular throttle response. And then C is just kind of like almost like a rain mode, basically. Because this bike is Suzuki's off-roader, you can switch the ABS off on this. You can put it in modes 1 for road, 2 for off-road, and just off completely. Traction control, you can put it in like a gravel mode, you can switch it off completely, or you can put it levels 1, 2 and 3, 3 being the most intrusive, 1 being more loosey-goosey. This bike is quite tall. It's got a seat height of 855 mil. Got a 20-litre tank as well. Now I filled up 100 miles ago and it's saying I've got half a tank left, so that's a good shout. The screen is great for me as a little small human. I'm 5'4" or 162 centimetres. In the standard position, it's God, get me out of the way of that. Christ, I feel like I've just had 10 years knocked off my life by being behind it. Yeah, quick shifter and auto blipper on this is awesome. Oh, here you going? I'm not letting you all out. My name's not Bernardo's. So, yeah, I like the modes of this bike. I like all the traction control modes, the ABS modes, and most importantly, I like how easy they are to change just with the mode button. Look, you can do it on the fly. Traction control off. We'll put it in 2. We put it in 2, we press mode again. This is where we can change it from A, B or C, but we want it in A. And then ABS, we'll just leave it in 1 because that's the, I want to say the road mode, might be the off-road mode, but I'm not really bothered either way because I don't ride like a lunatic anyway. Not today anyway, not while it's cold and autumny out there. It's a nice bike to go slow on if you have to. Slow control stuff is really easy because it's a beautifully balanced bike. I really like it. It does have a few bad things. I mean, I haven't noticed it today because it's quite a cold day, just very autumny, but oftentimes when I've ridden this bike in the summer, the heat from the right side of the engine is quite intense. The fact that it doesn't come with cruise control is also a bit of a gutter, but whenever I go on long distances I tend to just take that little device, that little plastic device with the throttle, so you can rest your palm on it and basically hold the throttle in position without it hurting your hand too much. Wow, this view, gorge. It's just a really nice bike to ride. So this is my first time back on a VStrom 800DE in a fair bit of time, as I mentioned I think at the start of this video. But Mike has been out on this and he took it to Three Head Shires and did some pretty cool off-roading. Now I don't know whether that video is already out or whether my video of this ride will go out first. I'm not quite sure, I just don't know. So, you know, if it is out already, I'll put a link now up above here somewhere, and then feel free to watch that at your leisure. But if it isn't out yet, then there will be no link and you'll just have to wait to see how Mike got on. I've seen some of that footage and there are steep wooden steps in this narrow, single, tight, bushy lane. Yeah, not something I could ever do. So we'll let Mike take over when it comes to the extreme off-roading. It's above my pay grade, guys. I'm sorry. Well, I haven't actually shown you this bike. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to future Kate, when I get home, is going to film a little walk round of the bike, and I'm going to insert that footage in here. So nobody can say, oh, you did a vlog and you didn't even show us the bike. So whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to say some of my thoughts on it aesthetically. Does look a little bit like Daffy Duck or Donald Duck, would you agree? I know the stacked headlights on this bike are obviously subjective. A few people like them, a few people don't like them. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know what you think. But no, this bike is such a comfy bike and it's quite customizable as well. There's a low seat which makes it 20mm lower, and there's a tall seat which makes it 30mm higher. And I believe that these seats are priced in the like £100 range, like in between £100 and £200. I'm not quite sure on the exact specifics. If I can find it, I'll insert them now so you guys know. But yeah, another bad thing I guess is no heated grips, and that's a very expensive option if you go down the genuine Suzuki route, which I absolutely wouldn't go down. I would get some like third-party ones for sure, or you could, you know, get heated gloves. Well, guys and girls, I hope you've just liked this little natter, this little catch-up, this little gushy video about Suzuki's V-Strom 800DE. Honestly, it is one of the most impressive bikes of, I'd say, like the year or last year. I can't quite remember when it came out, but yeah, I really, really like it. I think it's got so many good traits going for it. And yeah, I would definitely own one of these bikes, 100%. Maybe I need to start batting my eyelids at Suzuki, see how much they could do one of these for. Oh, but then the GSX-8R, that sings to me. That appeals to my soul. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to play it, guys. Honestly, when the GS goes, what replaces it? I guess is as good as any. I don't flipping know. I'll figure it out. I'll do some quick maths, and figure out what's the best business decision, but also what I'm going to get hopefully a lot of joy and fun out of. Right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye. You've got to be kidding me. Amazing. I love that part. That vlog has been useless because my dumbass, evidently, doesn't know how to hook a microphone to my face. Like an absolute inbred. What an inbred thing to do. Well done, Kate. You literally have the brain cells of a frog. Can we go, please? Can we make a move, please? You know where your accelerator is? Perhaps use it? Perhaps?
Exit the roundabout onto A590.
If you would be so kind.